where she's going to create, let's read this from the Wall Street Journal. Of course, I don't know my usual setup here. We will create what I call an opportunity economy. Instead of the current economy, we're going to have an opportunity economy. You might as well just go full Zoolander and go, I'm going to make our economy really, really good. I want a really, really good economy. You can put any word in there. Why not just call it what you really want to do, which is the handout economy? Hey, if you don't have stuff, I will buy your vote, and here's a handout economy. If you're in one of the disenfranchised groups that I'm trying to bribe into supporting me with free stuff, I will give you handouts. And what we should really call it is the until it runs out economy, where it will be a lottery system where random people get gifted things such as homes, $25,000 credits, your college tuition being free until it runs out. And then once it runs out, I don't know, we draft you and we send you off to war so that, you're not sitting around complaining that you weren't on the list of people that got stuff. But it's just the lottery economy of until things run out. It's the until things run out economy. But you might be in the group of people that wins the lottery and gets the free shit. So we all like a lottery system. Why not? We'll start shuffling the deck. We'll pull out names. And some people are going to war so that you're no longer a liability on the books and amongst the goods that we're able to steal from the rich and the elites or from the rest of the world by inflating money and printing dollars on endlessly, then you can have some free stuff until it runs out. It's the Kamala Harris until it runs out economy. And then one more thing on Kamala Harris. Actually, I'll take a couple comments because this actually is a bit of a topic change. And, things are aggressive in the economy. I mean, in the comment section. Runaway Slav, angry black women is a disqualification for the position. No, that's what you want on your team to combat the other people. I got what you were saying there with the earlier. It was like the Patrice O'Neill bit of black women get your refunds. Dildo Baggins. I know what it says there, but I'm going to say Baggins. Let Kamala play the lovely angle. It will show the American men that a woman is too soft to go up against the world's political leaders. I don't know that I agree with you on that one, but that's okay. All right, two more comments. John Popick. I'm still not convinced they'll ever actually debate. They're going to keep Kamala away from a non-scripted event. I somewhat agree with you, the only thing is I think even Democrats will be outraged. I think that there will be a consensus of people that go, hey, you guys are the ones that keep telling us return to normalcy. You can't not debate. And how bad is my candidate that you're not even willing to debate this buffoon Donald Trump? That's the opinion of the leftists. Are you telling me that this lady can't even get through a debate, but I'm supposed to vote for her? I don't think it's going to fly. I think that there's enough people who, even if they will just support the Democrat no matter what, they're still kind of curious to see how can she fend in a debate. Like for their own curiosity, they kind of need to see it. This is television. We're trying to be entertained. And the one event we get to see these two people spar and play the game of I'm in a presidential election is that they go ahead and debate. It's like the way once a year you get Christmas. If you live in areas with seasons, you get fall. Every 4 years, you get a couple presidential debates. And if you're following the news cycle, this is what you get. If you're into soccer or the Olympics, every couple years you get your event. I think people, they want their entertainment. They're a part of this process. They're in this illusion of, hey, we've got a democracy and I get to pick my candidate. And I think across the board, all of them, as we live within this thing, they want the event. It's the entertainment. It's the part of the thing where they get to go, oh, I watched someone, I formulated an opinion. It's part of the illusion of being a part of this process, as I was intelligent to watch the debate and decide which of the people I like. And I think even amongst the extreme left who will cheat in this game just to win, they'll do things like weaponize the Justice Department in the name of winning. They will do things that they wouldn't agree with, like, yeah, our government shouldn't do that, but Donald Trump's so bad, we need to do it in this case. I think even those people, they want their debate. And so on that basis, I think unless they can pretend that Donald Trump was the one bailing out, I think they want to give people the show. It's like with you give the people the entertainment of the gladiators and they don't revolt. You give or the porn and the food is the opiate of the masses, whatever other lines from socialists. You guys are more educated than I am, but I think people want their show. A human maybe. The black manager who gets told she has to wait 10 minutes before clicking a button, but she isn't able to figure out how long 10 minutes is. So you literally set a stopwatch and sit with her on the phone. Not sure if I totally followed that one. All right, let's move on to this next story, which I thought this was. I have a page I got actually a spreadsheet at this point. I used to have little sketch ideas and I would just put them up on my wall. And it got to a point where the wall was so filled that there are no women coming back to my apartment. But I was like, if anyone ever comes back here, this looks like I'm a serial killer. And so I created a spreadsheet of sketches that I'd like to film. And, what I found in previous years of my comedy career is that at some point I get to things. You guys can go find it. I think it's up on my website, Detective Active. I wrote that thing like year 2 in comedy. And then my good friend Gus came around. He wanted to film something. I pulled it off the wall. I was like, hey, I got this one. It's kind of fun. And we filmed it. And it was fun and funny. It still exists. You can go find it. So I'll get to these at one point. And you guys all remember the movie Dumb and Dumber, maybe the greatest comedy movie of all time. Dave Smith will argue and say that it's actually Tommy Boy. I will sometimes, even though it's not as laugh out loud of a comedy movie, I have Blues Brothers up on that list. Listen, that's a conversation for another time. But Dumb and Dumber, it's got to be in your top 5. It has to be, and it's an argument that it's in the number 1. And there's a scene early in Dumb and Dumber, if you guys don't remember it, where these people are so dumb they want to create a worm farm. Do you guys remember that? And then there's the great scene where they go to trash the apartment, and they're like, "Should we trash the place?" They're like, I don't think they're going to get the message. Do you guys remember this? That was a joke back in the 90s. The 2 people would be so stupid that they would want to create a worm farm. And so I was thinking of a sketch that it's 2024 and now it's the 2 of them and they have the hottest IPO on the market as Bill Gates and other people are trying to sell us on eating bugs and stuff. And so all of a sudden they've been in the worm business for 20 years. It's now this thing is the hottest IPO on the market. And I always had that in my little book. Maybe I'll get to it someday. And then I read this and I just thought this was so funny. This was from, I think it was Michael Snyder on Zero Hedge. And, there was the classic SNL sketch about Chris Farley living in a van down by the river. I don't do the best Chris Farley, but you guys remember the sketch. Also one of the greatest SNL sketches of all time. And he was pointing out that in the current economy, that's like people's dream. Like if you were to reshoot that sketch, the kids would be like, wait a second, you have a van? And you get to live by a river? Like at the time, that was the joke of you could do drugs and be in such a horrible life position, you're forced to live in a van down by the river. And now because of home prices and where the economy is, we live in a world now that if you were trying to film that, you'd have kids go, wait, what kind of van is it? Where'd you get it? Did you build it out yourself? What's this river view? You have your own river? You don't even have to share this river and you get to bathe in it? You don't have to pay electricity costs? All right. Next up, we have, this was from Bill Maher. He had on Quentin Tarantino, and they were talking about how Kamala Harris is dodging being on the news. And firstly,